Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we are making chocolate chip cookies. These are probably the best chocolate chip cookies that you'll ever make, and they're super easy, super quick to make. I got the recipe from a friend of mine, and I just love making them. My whole family enjoys them. Probably I enjoy them a little too much. So here are the ingredients of what you need for these cookies. We've got 3 cups of flour in here, a 1 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, and a half a teaspoon of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of salt. And then also for the dry ingredients, you will need a package of instant pudding, vanilla instant pudding. Then we've got 1 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/3 of a cup of white sugar, 2 eggs, some vanilla sugar, 1 cup of unsalted butter. It has to be room temperature. And then about 2 cups, or to your preference, chocolate chips. I have a little bit less. So what I actually did is I have chocolate chips in here along with some chopped up Easter chocolate that I had left over. So that's what I'll be using for the chocolate chip cookies. And that's all there is to what you need for the ingredients. Now I'm going to show you step by step what you need to do. So first you want to mix all of the dry ingredients. So I did have the flour, the salt, and the baking powder and soda already mixed. And then I'm just adding the pudding into here. And then while you're doing that, you want to be creaming the butter with the sugar and with both of the sugars. And you want to basically be creaming it for about 4 to 5 minutes so it gets nice and fluffy. And then when that's done, then you will be adding the rest of the ingredients one by one. So then when you start to add the other ingredients, you're going to add 1 egg at a time into the wet mixture. Then you'll add your vanilla. And then once everything is incorporated, you're going to add in 2 batches the dry ingredients. And you basically want to get a nice thick consistency. I did use the paddle attachment on my mixer so that way it mixes everything the way I needed it to, nice and strong. I mean, you could do this by hand as well if you don't have a stand mixer, but it'll just take you a little bit longer. So once you add the second batch of your flour and everything is nicely incorporated, then you want to go ahead and add your chocolate chips. Now, if you are maybe making chocolate chunk, maybe adding some nuts or anything like that, this would be the time to add any of those things. I did not add nuts because our school is nut free, so I wanted to be able to send these to school if my kids wanted them. So I didn't add anything, just what you see here, but by all means, you could add any other kind of add-ins that you would like. And when you add the chocolate chips, you don't need to use your mixer anymore. You can, but I always just use a wooden spoon and I just mix everything so it just incorporates nicely. You could also, once you scoop your cookies, add something to the top of them as well. I did not, but this is another option. But I am showing you the mixing process here so that way you can see the consistency of the dough that you want to go for. And when I was scooping them in, you can use either a tray, like just a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, or if you're using stones like me, you just use the stone. I don't line it with anything and I don't grease it at all because they're already seasoned, so they're good to go. I used an ice cream scoop, but you need about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, depending on how big you want your cookie to be. So my ice cream scoop is a tablespoon. It's a Pampered Chef's ice cream scoop. And what I did, I kind of did two different ways of doing the cookies. One of them I just scooped and I pushed down, and then the other one, a few of them I made into a ball and then pushed down, and the other ones I just kind of left as is. Both of them worked out okay. If you want a perfect cookie, then you want to shape them into a ball and push them down. But if you're okay with whatever kind of cookie, then you're good to do what I did. Just scoop and go and push and go. Now, I did forget to mention you need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and you will need to bake these cookies 12 to 14 minutes, depending on your oven and depending on the cookie sheet that you used. I did have to do about 16 minutes for mine because the stoneware takes a little bit longer, and I don't like cookies that are hard and crispy. We like them chewy. So that's what we did here. And it gave me about 26 cookies altogether by doing the 1 tablespoon scoop. And I needed 2 cookie sheets. I do have a convection oven, so I use the convection feature and I put both of these trays in at once. The bottom one needed a little bit more time than the top one, maybe like a minute and a half more, but that's about it. Again, this all depends on your oven, so play around with how much time, but I would start with 12 minutes and then, or even 10 minutes, and then see how it goes, especially if you're only doing 1 cookie sheet at a time. So that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed this, and here's what they look like all complete. And so when you do take them out of the oven, let them cool for about 2 or 3 minutes on the pan and then transfer them onto a wire rack. When you use the stoneware, you might have to let them cool a little bit longer because it still cooks a little bit from the bottom and it takes a little bit longer to cool off and set. But here they are, super delicious. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you try this or if you have any questions. Thanks for stopping by. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe and bon appetit.